everybody. It's finally Thursday here. I know it's usually finally Friday, but Thursday's exciting too. And if you're new to my channel, on Thursdays, I'm on Twitter. So if you've gotten on Twitter and asked your questions using the hashtag KatieFAQ, I have found them and I've chatted with many of you already. And I have 3 really cool questions today, as well as a journal topic that I saved from, I think it was from YouTube, but it's from Level 5 Productions is their name. So thank you so much for sending me this. It's really cool. But let's get talking, because I have a lot of good topics I want to discuss today and some things I want to get into with you. Okay, so the first question is it possible to have on and off symptoms of feeling happy and then sad while having depression and anxiety? Now, the short answer is yes. It's very normal. That is how our body works. That's how mental health happens for a lot of us. And I know that many people, a lot of stigmas and people that chatter out there say, well, you know, people who are depressed should never smile and they should never have a good time. And that person was out the other weekend, so that means they're not depressed. Or, you know, she was giggling with her friends, so she's not depressed. Or she was in school, so her anxiety is not that bad. That's all bullshit. We all know we can have really good days. We can have really bad days. We can feel really good about who we are for a second, and then all of a sudden we're back to where we were. And that is very normal. We know that this can occur for many reasons. Chemically in our brain, we can have boosts of dopamine because maybe something that we ate helped boost that. There are a lot of things out there that can help boost our mood. You can Google that, and I have a couple of friends who are dietitians, obviously. I work with them a lot, and they talk about certain foods that they eat a lot of to help boost their mood. And so that can play a factor. Also, we all know that sleep, just like diet, so diet and sleep and overall care for ourselves, are we taking time for ourselves, can really affect how we feel. And depression is one of those things that falls into what we call in the DSM mood disorders. And so moods change all the time. We don't have to be depressed looking 100% of the time or anxious looking 100% of the time in order to have an issue and to be struggling. So don't think that just because you don't feel it 100% of the time doesn't mean that you're struggling and that you deserve to get help. We all deserve to get help. And the sooner we try to reach out and get help, the better. So I would encourage any of you out there, if you're thinking, well, I must not be depressed because, you know, yesterday was a good day. Don't listen to it. If you're struggling, if you find yourself feeling down a lot, reach out for help. There are therapists just like me all over, and we're out here to help you and to help you, you know, move past it, process through it, so that depression doesn't have to take over your whole life. Okay? Question, and that was a really good question, I thought. Question number 2. Hey, Katie, why do I need to be drunk in order to have sex? I've never been through any abuse, but it feels so wrong. My mind won't shut down and I feel bad and I can't connect with my partner. I just want it to be over, and it doesn't matter who it is. Now, I want to talk about this because I've heard from a lot of you that you struggle with intimacy and sexual relations can be difficult, and many of you this applies to your abuse in the past. But for some of us, like this person, we don't have any abuse in our past, and we can still struggle with intimacy. We don't have to be abused to struggle to have intimate relations with people that we care about. And there would be a couple things that I would want you to check into. Just like I was talking about the mood changing, diet, exercise, self-care, sleep, all of those things can affect how we feel. And for many of us, how we feel can completely affect how our day goes. We may ruminate more if we're feeling really depressed. We may struggle with OCD if we have a lot of anxiety. We may have a lot of things we think about and obsess about. And all of this can affect our ability to connect with others. Sex doesn't just have to be an act. It can be. It's totally up to you. Everyone's going to have their own feelings about sex and what's right and wrong, and that is fine with me. But an ability to connect with someone means that we need to be able to be present. We need to feel safe. We need to feel comfortable. And I would encourage you, if this is you out there and you're thinking, yeah, I usually do need to be drunk or high or something to be able to have sex with someone, I would encourage you to take some time to look inside. How are you feeling? How are you taking care of yourself? Have you been eating properly? How about your exercise? Are you exercising too much? Are you exercising enough? When did you last see your doctor? All of these are good things to think about, as well as how our own mental health is. Is your anxiety getting worse? Do you find yourself ruminating all the time? Do you feel really down? Is your body image like at the worst it's ever been? A lot of these things can affect not only how we connect with people like a friendship or any other kind of relationship, but especially when we're being intimate with someone, because regardless of how casual we want sex to be, it's still an intimate act. We're being vulnerable to that person for a period of time. And so I would encourage you, if you're really struggling to connect and you feel like you have to be drunk or high to have sex, and that's not something that you want, I would encourage you to look inside, take some time, take stock of where you're at, because that will tell us more information as to why we may be struggling. It could be a lot of different factors, right? Like all the things I mentioned. And we need to figure out what it is so that we can start working on it, okay? Now, question number 3. Kati, is it unusual to wish to remain childlike by keeping my eating disorder? Now, I want to talk about this because many of you've talked to me, and in my workbooks, I talk about inner child work. And a lot of us can feel like we still are childlike. And we're kind of what they call like developmentally arrested in a childlike state, because that may have been when we were abused. That may be a way that we've always gotten more attention. It could be a lot of different things, and we may not even realize we're doing it. And so when someone talks about wanting to keep my eating disorder so I can remain childlike, it's very normal. It's not unusual to feel like we want to remain a child. Many people, and depending on what's gone on in your life, I'm going to give you some scenarios. Many people feel like they want to look or act a certain way to get more attention or love or support or feel safe. I have a few patients, actually only one now, the other one is finished seeing me, but who had gained a lot of weight in order to get rid of the thought that they may be sexually abused, because the abuser had made comments about their body, and so they tried to make themselves not look anything like what they did when the person abused them. And so that's a way that we remain safe. Now, some of us, when we have been abused, since we haven't really processed through it, we kind of are arrested at that age. I hope this is making sense. This is kind of difficult to describe, but we can be developmentally arrested when things happen to us. And we will stay in certain we can also stay in certain stages because it's safer that way, or we can try to look certain ways to be safe or to get more love, affection, attention, whatever. And so my guess is when it comes to this, and it's not unusual, it's very, very normal, that to wish to remain childlike by keeping your eating disorder is just another version of this. Something about being childlike, I would encourage you to think about what that means to you. If you're struggling with something that I'm talking about, like staying at a certain age, looking a certain way, I would encourage you to think about what that means to you. What does being a child mean to you? Does that mean that you get more love and support, that your parents still take care of you, they don't have as many worries? What does it mean for you? What does that equate to? And then I would encourage you to think about how that feels emotionally. And then I want us to process through it, because it's normal to want to remain in it, but we know that we can't stay there forever, logically. And so we're going to have to talk ourselves out of it. We're going to have to fight back, because I want for all of you to grow, to get your own life, to get excited about all the opportunities you have, because you all have so many talents and you're all so unique and wonderful, and the world needs more people like that, loving, caring people out there. So I know it's a lot of work. I know this is kind of confusing. I could do more videos on this. It's just hard to put it into a little ball for a short video, but it's very normal. A lot of it has to do with what purpose your eating disorder serves for you and what it means like to be a child to you. So take some time and think about that, because I think you'll find your answer in there. Okay? Now, journal topic. Thanks again, Level 5 Productions, for this. I saw this quote from Anne Frank, and it got me thinking. The quote is, "How wonderful is it that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. It reminds me that getting better doesn't require a long wait. It reminds me that it can start now. You have the power to make a difference to yourself, and you have the power to make the world better. Because for me, the idea of anyone struggling how I have is horrible. So I'm making sure nobody has to struggle the way I did, and I am doing this by studying psychology and hopefully helping people. Definitely will. Your struggle doesn't have to be the thing that defines you. You do not need to wait to get better. It can start right now." And I think that's really cool and really motivating. So thank you so much for that. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow, because it's finally Friday. And that's it. So ask your questions there. Bye.